Hello, welcome to my instructional video for TED 200. Today we're going to be determining the level of acidity or basicity of household liquids. So before we get started, we're going to need some supplies. We're going to need 6 small glasses or cups. Clear is recommended. Something like this would be perfect. Anything would work. We're also going to want 5 home liquids, something from around your house. Hopefully you have some of these at your house. But you can choose from lemon juice, white vinegar, baking soda, cream of tartar, hand sanitizer, apple juice, shampoo, conditioner, antacids, or washing soda. Next up, you're going to need some Jiffy Juice or red cabbage indicator. This is going to be used for the pH levels of the acids or bases, and you can buy that online. Again, it's called Jiffy Juice, or you can make some at home. I decided to make mine at home. If you want to do that, you're going to need a few additional supplies. You're going to need a head of red cabbage, which I have here. You can buy that at any grocery store, and a sharp knife. You're going to need a large saucepan. You're going to want to chop up half a head of cabbage, throw that in the saucepan, cover it with water. You're going to want to bring that to a boil. When you're done with that, you're going to want to strain it out and put it into some sort of a container. So dump all the cabbage and the water through a strainer and then save the liquid. Oh, I skipped a step. When it gets done boiling, you're going to want to let that soak for about 20 minutes because you want to let those nice red and purple colors really soak into your water solution. So don't forget that step. And then once you strain it out, you can go ahead and just put it in any container. You can put that in the freezer or the fridge and save that for later. Something you can do ahead of time. What else? Alright, so let's get started here. Our first glass is going to be our control unit, so we're just going to put about halfway to 3/4 of water. Doesn't have to be exact. We're going to go ahead and fill all these up to about the same level. Make sure you leave room because you're going to want to add your household liquid to make your solution, and you also have to have room for the pH indicator, the Jiffy Juice. Go ahead and fill those up. Again, about 3/4 of the way. That one's a little bit full. Dump some of that out. Alright. Oh, I almost forgot my safety goggles. Make sure and put safety goggles on. Hopefully you have a pair of those. If not, you can maybe borrow them from your school or pick them up at a science laboratory supply store, or borrow them from your dad. Maybe he's got some out in his garage, or a neighbor. That would work. Okay, so I decided to use, for my first glass, the baking soda. Anything you got around the house off that list will work. Gonna add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of that. Doesn't have to be exact. Next up, I'm gonna use vinegar. Again, 1 to 2 tablespoons. Doesn't have to be perfect. Next up, I'm gonna use some apple juice. Then we have the shampoo. Go ahead and add some of that in. And next I'm going to use the antacids. I'm going to go ahead and break them up with a little meat tenderizer here. You could use a little hammer or anything that you have around the house, just so that they dissolve a little bit easier. Go ahead and throw them in. We're going to want to use a stirring rod. Or a, you know what, I'll put the Jiffy Juice in first. Going to want to add about a tablespoon of the Jiffy Juice to each of the glasses, even the control unit. So the first one is just plain tap water. We're going to add about a tablespoon of the Jiffy Juice to that one. Ooh, I already got some cool colors going on here. Hopefully you can see that at home. I'll hold them up here for you in a little bit. Alright, got some really cool reds and blues going on. Wonderful. That one turned out nice. Okay, put that aside now. We're done with that. The stirring rod here and just some normal water. I'm going to go ahead and stir these up and then rinse it off in between, just so we don't contaminate any of our liquids and solutions. Make sure that everything is on par. So we'll go ahead and rinse that off every time. Get that stirred up again. Again, wonderful colors. Really think they're turning out nice here. That one's very interesting. Very cool. Very happy with the results here. Alright, so let's take a look at our results and see what we got. Looks like our first one is our base. Let me take off my safety goggles here. The first one is our base. It's a nice blue color. Now you're going to want to refer to the pH table that I provided. So if you need to stop the video at this point, that's fine. If you go into the comments on the discussion board, there is another attachment there, and that is the chart that determines pH levels in case you want to follow along for acidity and basicity. Next up we have the baking soda. Now that one, again, hopefully you can see that at home. I'll try and hold it up, but it's a nice light green color, and that indicates that that is a strong base. Very cool. It's almost like an electric Kool-Aid or something. Vinegar is up next. Now that one turned out a purplish red. So, you know, the first time was a little bit more purple. I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit more of the juice. There we go. It's a really nice purplish red color. And according to our chart, about a number 4 is considered a weak acid. Okay. Next up we have the apple juice. The apple juice turned out pretty much just a regular red color, and that indicates about a number 2 on the chart, saying that it is a strong acid. Very cool. Next up we have the shampoo. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen with that one, but now this is a very unique color, different from some of the other ones. But that one is a blue, about a number 8 on the chart, indicating that's a base, a weak base, almost neutral, which would say that it's neither a base nor an acid, kind of right there in the middle. Which kind of makes sense, I guess. It's a soap. Now, something that could change your results would be if you had a shampoo maybe that was very high in something like citrus, if you had like a special shampoo that you use, that could change the results, and it might end up being a little bit more towards the acid side. So again, the different products that you use can affect the test, how much of each ingredient you're using, how much of the red cabbage indicator you're using. That can throw off your results a little bit, but for the most part it should fall right on the scale, and the shampoo again coming up as a neutral or weak base. Now last but not least is our antacids or Tums. That one turned out to be a really strange color. Earlier when I did this I used some white Tums, and they seem to work the best. So if you have the white antacids, Rolaids, or Tums, those would probably work the best for this. But it's still kind of getting that cool bluish green color. Very strange. And that's indicating that that is about a number 10 on the chart. So that bluish green color saying that it is a weak base, and that kind of makes sense as a antacid. It's something that's kind of used to settle your stomach. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. Chemists classify every solution as an acid or base, and we kind of learned a little bit about both of those today and where they show up on that chart. So thanks for joining me.